We're going to start with problem 11 from 2008 A&C. Right here we have a shore, some water, and a boat. The distance from the boat to shore is 1 mile. And the boat is traveling at a constant velocity of 4 miles per hour. That means it should take the boat exactly 15 minutes to reach shore. I'll start with the second part. We know that the boat has to barely make it. That means, what is the minimum number of water we need for the boat to barely make it? Well, if the boat barely makes it, that means it's pretty much drowning at the end. And in order for that to be true, that means at the very end, right, we want to have 30 gallons. 30 gallons of water. Okay, and what else do we know? We know that each minute the boat is taking in 10 gallons of water. The amount that we want to bail is unknown, so we'll call it X. So each minute, how much water is the boat taking in? It's taking in 10 minus X gallons of water. Okay. Now, for how many minutes is it taking in that amount? It's taking in 15 minutes, right? And at the very end, as we previously said, we want the boat to have 30 gallons of water, right? So, solving this out, we get 10 minus X equals 2, X equals 8. So X equals 8 gallons of water is the minimum amount of water we need to bail for the boat to make it to shore. Okay, so we know one more thing. We know that the distance traveled by hand is 70 miles greater than the distance traveled by Ian. And we know that distance is the same thing as speed times time. What happens to be the distance traveled by hand? Well, it's his speed, which in this case is v plus 5, times his time, which is t plus 1. So we can multiply those together to get hand's speed. And we also know Ian to get hand's distance. And we also know Ian's distance, which is just v times t. But we also know that hand traveled 70 miles more, so hand's distance is equal to Ian's distance plus 70. Okay, now we can actually simplify this a little bit. And if we take a look, we can write this out on this side. We can cross multiply all the terms. Vt plus v plus 5t plus 5 equals Vt plus 70. Now we can cancel some terms out. As we see, we have Vt on both sides, and we both have constant integers also on both sides. So we get V plus 5t is equal to 65. Okay, that doesn't tell us much yet, but check this out. We can take the next step. Our goal is to find how much more Jan traveled than Ian. Well, we already know the formula for distance traveled, so we can apply that here. D right here is the unknown. It's the distance. It's what we're trying to find. It's the distance that traveled. So once again, factoring everything out, just cross multiplying Vt plus 2v plus 10t plus 20 is equal to Vt plus v. Okay, now let's quickly take out all the stuff that we don't need, and we end up getting 2v plus 10t is equal to d minus 20. Now, do you notice something here? We can factor out 2. So 2 equals v plus 5t is equal to d minus 20. We already know what v plus 5t is. It's 65. So 2 times 65 is 130 equals d minus 20. And then we add 20 on both sides. D equals 150. Awesome. So the distance that Jan traveled more than Ian is 150 miles. Hello guys, we're starting out today again with problem 17 which is also kind of simple. So we start out with a lateral triangle of side length 6. And what we're trying to do is find all the points that are at most 3 units away from the perimeter. So that essentially means that this creates kind of the following boundary. Pretty much all the points from here, and this is 3, 3, 3, and 3. And then so also from this point, we kind of get like a third circle, you know, because we have to find all the points that are in here. See, so they can't be 3 units away from the perimeter. So what we end up getting here is 3 rectangles of width 3 and length 6, and 3/3 of a circle, right? Because if this is 60 degrees, since it's a collateral triangle, and these are both 90 because it's, well, obviously these are rectangles, then this angle has to be 120 because this whole thing has 360. So if this is 120 degrees, and we know that this is part of a circle, 120, that's a third of 360, so note this is 1/3 of a circle. We have 3 1/3 of a circle, so what does that give us? That gives us a whole circle, right? And what is the radius? The radius is 3. Okay, and if the radius is 3, then we can obviously find the area, which is pi r squared. So we end up getting 9 pi is the area of that. Now all we have left is find the area of these rectangles. We already know all their dimensions, so the area of one rectangle is 18. We have 3 of them, so that's 54 plus 9 pi. That gives us the total area. Awesome.